An 8 on Your Side investigation. Never-ending nightmare.
Tens of thousands of Florida veterans waiting in line for the VA to do right by them. They served their country, and in the process, many were injured or exposed to hazardous chemicals that years later made them terribly ill.
The government made them promises that in many cases the VA is breaking. So senior investigative reporter Steve Andrews, he's digging for answers and not giving up either.
Right. You know, when you're sick, you really don't feel like playing games. Many veterans feel the VA is playing a waiting game, one they don't have time for. In the 70s, Tom Jenkins was in the Air Force, stationed at Ubon Air Force Base in Thailand. He worked on jets with a serious mission.
To drop bombs on Vietnam.
Tom's barracks were not far from the base perimeter, where the military sprayed Agent Orange. Rod McKelvin was stationed aboard the Navy hospital ship, the USS Sanctuary. He went ashore to Da Nang frequently and often observed planes flying overhead, spraying Agent Orange.
It was very sticky, but none of us really knew what it was.
Both Rod and Tom suffer from painful neuropathy, a condition associated with Agent Orange exposure.
It's like a bad sunburn you have on your feet.
My feet started getting very hot.
Both filed disability claims with the VA. Both were denied. Both were informed more than 12,000 appeal cases are ahead of theirs.
They hope I die.
Both sought help from Congressman Jolly. So that's where I went to get some answers. They used Agent Orange at that base to knock down the foliage. He's got a list of Agent Orange presumptive diseases, and they're denying him. I mean, why don't they just give him the money?
And the fact that that person worked there, and a doctor today says that they believe there's a direct correlation, should be sufficient for the VA.
But it isn't. Congress doled out $182 billion to the VA in hopes of making it more veteran-friendly. Doesn't seem like we're there yet, Congressman.
So when you're on the benefits side, you're exactly right.
So what are we going to do about it?
So this is where, as a congressman, our tool is to hold the VA accountable. And the way we do that currently is through the power of the purse.
Jolly believes change is coming. The question is, will it be in their lifetimes? Now, here's a fact we threw out last week, but it bears repeating. The average appeal for VA benefits takes longer than America's involvement in World War II. I mean, that's stunning.
That is, yeah, hard to wrap your brain around.
Yeah.
So I know we're dealing with the government, but is there any way to expedite any of these cases?
You know, there are. If you're over 75 or terminally ill or face eviction from your home, they'll move you to the front of the line. But if you have a line that's 5 to 10 years long, you're talking about gross mismanagement here.
Right.
Well, I know you'll stay on it, Steve.
We will.
More to come on this one, and a reminder that if you have a problem you think needs to be investigated, you can call Steve. The 8 on Your Side helpline telephone number is 1-800-338-0808.